Back in 2007, the original iPhone had one button, a 3.5-inch screen, and 128 megabytes of RAM. Now, fast forward to today, the iPhone 17 Pro Max has no buttons at all, with a 6.9-inch screen and 12 gigabytes of RAM. That's 94 times more memory in less than 20 years. However, the original iPhone could do something the iPhone 17 Pro Max can't. It could last a full day without making you anxious about battery percentage. It never asked you to subscribe to iCloud storage. It came with everything you needed in the box. And when you bought it, you owned it completely. Sure, it was locked to AT&T, but the software was yours. There were no features held hostage behind a monthly paywall. The iPhone 17 generation is faster, smarter, and more powerful than anything that came before it. But somewhere between 2007 and now, we lost something. By the end of this video, you will know the story of what we gained, what we lost, and whether the trade was worth it. Let's go back to June 29, 2007, where the first iPhone goes on sale. You paid $499 for a 4GB model, or $599 for 8 gigabytes. And for that price, you got everything. I'm talking about the phone, the charger, the earbuds, a dock connector cable, a cleaning cloth, and a SIM eject tool. Some models even came with a plastic stand. When you opened the box, you had everything you needed to use your iPhone for the next 5 years. Now compare that to 2026. The iPhone 17 starts at $799. The box contains the phone and a USB-C cable, and that's it. If you want a charger, that's another $29. If you want earbuds, you're looking at over $100 for AirPods or over $500 for AirPods Max. Even a basic case is going to cost you $49 minimum. Your $799 phone requires maybe another $100 in purchases if you really wanted the full package. But honestly, the contents of the box aren't even the biggest loss. The first loss is ownership. Because when you bought an original iPhone, you owned it completely. You didn't need an iCloud subscription. Your photos lived on the device or your computer. And when you think about the apps, the App Store didn't even exist until 2008, but when it arrived, apps cost 99 cents, or they were free. There were no $9.99 monthly subscriptions and no in-app purchases. If you bought a game or app, you owned it forever. There was no planned outdating through software updates. Updating iOS was optional. If you liked how your phone worked, you could keep it that way indefinitely. But the iPhone 17 generation is different. It's not really a product you own, it's a service you rent. iCloud storage fills up at 5 gigabytes, basically forcing you into a 99-cent per month subscription. There are apps that are free to download, but features are locked behind paywalls. iOS updates can be automatic, and sometimes slow down older devices for the sake of battery preservation. Second, there's repairability. If your iPhone 3G battery was dying, you could take it to any repair shop, or you could do it yourself with a $15 kit from Amazon. But if your iPhone 17 battery is dying, Apple's serialized batteries mean that third-party repairs trigger warning messages. Independent repair shops face strict restrictions on pairing parts, and Apple charges $119 for a battery replacement that used to cost $29 from any technician. The original iPhone screen was held on with screws you could remove with a basic toolkit. The iPhone 17 screen is glued, sealed, and paired to the logic board with encryption. If you try to replace it without authorization, the phone displays persistent warning messages. Third, there's the headphone jack. For nearly a decade, every iPhone from 2007 to 2015 had one. You could plug in any headphones from any manufacturer and they worked. Your favorite studio monitors, your $10 gas station earbuds, or your vintage headphones. It didn't matter, they all worked. The iPhone 17 generation has no headphone jack, and it also doesn't have a lightning port. If you wanted wired audio, you would need adapters. However, what very few people miss most is the home button. From 2007 to 2017, we had a physical home button you could find without looking. If you pressed it, you would go home. If you double-pressed, you would multitask. But then the iPhone X killed it in 2017 in favor of Face ID and gestures. And here we are in 2026 with the iPhone 17 Pro, and there are still people who complain about Face ID because there may be points where it's slow or doesn't work as well as it should. Now we need to compare the two eras. We will start with the size differences. The original iPhone weighed 4.8 ounces and was 115 millimeters. It fit comfortably in any pocket and was easily usable with one hand. The iPhone 17 Pro Max weighs 8 ounces and is 163 millimeters. The iPhone 5S was arguably the perfect size to many. It had a 4-inch display and weighed 3.95 ounces. You could reach every corner of the screen with your thumb. However, for some users, the iPhone 17 lineup has 0 compact options. The smallest model, the iPhone 17, has a 6.3-inch display. The 12 mini was the last attempt at a small flagship, and it failed so badly that Apple killed it after 2 years. Now, let's talk about the speed, which might shock you. The iPhone 4 from 2010 had 512 megabytes of RAM and a single-core processor, and the iPhone 17 Pro has 12 gigabytes of RAM and the A19 Pro chip with 6-core CPU. The iPhone 17 Pro has 24 times more RAM than the iPhone 4. The processor is quite literally thousands of times faster. Apps open instantly, 4K video editing happens in real time, and console-quality games can run at 120 FPS. But despite being so much faster, there is one area where modern iPhones obliterate the classics, and that area is the camera. The original iPhone had a 2-megapixel camera. No video recording, flash, or zoom. Photos looked acceptable on the 3.5-inch screen and terrible everywhere else. Whereas the iPhone 17 Pro Max has a 48-megapixel main camera, a 48-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 5x optical zoom. You could shoot professional-quality videos, take macro photos of insects, or you can photograph the moon. The camera improvement from 2007 to 2026 is the most dramatic evolution of any iPhone feature. Modern iPhones have replaced point-and-shoot cameras, and for many people, they have replaced professional cameras too. If there's one area where the new iPhones are objectively better, it's the camera. Now, finally, the price. The original iPhone cost $599, and if you adjust for inflation, it would be approximately $900 in 2026. The iPhone 17 Pro Max costs $1,199 for 256 gigabytes, and the 1 terabyte model costs $1,599. So, the flagship iPhone is significantly more expensive than the original, even after adjusting for inflation. But there is a trade-off where you're getting more storage, better cameras, and a faster processor. But you're also getting less from the things that were removed from the box. The iPhone got more expensive for better quality, whilst including fewer accessories. But there's more to the story than just specs and features. The original iPhone had 16 pre-installed apps that were basically all functional, whereas the iPhone 17 has over 40 pre-installed apps, many of which you can't delete even though you barely use them. The durability over the years has massively improved. The original iPhone had a glass front and aluminum back. If you dropped it, the screen cracked, but the iPhone 17 uses ceramic shield glass and titanium, meaning it's physically tougher. However, there is a different kind of durability, which is software support. The original iPhone got iOS updates for just 3 years. After that, it was done, but it kept working. There were no forced updates that ruined the experience. The iPhone 17 Pro will get iOS updates for many years, but those later updates will often slow down older phones. The iPhone 6S got iOS 15, but it ran terribly. Longer software support sounds better, but is it really support if the updates make your phone worse? And then there's the ecosystem trap. If you bought an original iPhone in 2007, it worked as a standalone device. You could use it without any other Apple products. But if you buy an iPhone 17 in 2026, Apple wants you to buy other things, such as AirPods, an Apple Watch, maybe an iPad or a Mac. Then there's the subscriptions, which include iCloud storage, Apple Music, or Apple TV. The iPhone isn't just a product anymore, it's the entry point to an entire ecosystem. Because in 2007, Apple used to sell you the iPhone, but now in 2026, they sell you multiple iPhones, different models where you make the choice based on specific features you deserve based on your budget. Notice the gap between the cheapest and most expensive? It's $400. For comparison, the original iPhone lineup had one model at one price. That's how much has changed. So what did we really gain and what did we really lose? We gained cameras that rival professional equipment. We gained processing power that seemed impossible 2 decades ago. We gained screens that are brighter, sharper, and more responsive than anything from 2007. But we lost some simplicity. When you bought an iPhone, you would be buying the complete package. The original iPhone was a complete product. The iPhone 17 is a gateway that is always demanding. The technology has improved, but the experience is slightly more complicated. Was the trade-off worth it? Well, it depends on what you value more.